This is Detective Lotto with the Marion County Sheriff's Office. I am out here at the incident location. The address, Marion County case number MCSO 20OFF022999. It is November 23rd at 5:07 p.m. Okay. Is it fair to say I've been here for about 30 minutes and we've been talking about the procedure for the grand jury and I've served you with the subpoena?
Yes.
Okay. So before I wanted to talk to you about the facts of the case, I wanted to make sure that I did a recorded interview with you. So I was going over the interview today of what we talked about at my office. And you had mentioned in your statement that Neely might have made a statement to her husband. Who is her husband?
What do you, her husband?
She was talking to her husband?
Her husband is Robert.
Okay.
I don't know his last name. I know he's a United States Coast Guard. He's stationed out of Pensacola base. And I've seen pictures, and them on the video of her Facebook of them being on the boat,
Okay.
I think I've heard them in the background, when I've been on a Zoom call or phone call with Neely. But I don't know him. Recently, I've never met him. So.
Okay. Now, when you say you didn't meet him, that pretty much answers my question. But I remembered, I think, twice during your statement, you said that she had, the day that this happened, or right around the time frame this happened, she had talked to her husband.
Yeah, it might have been the day before that she had talked to him.
Okay.
It wasn't very long. I want to say maybe 15, 20 minutes. Or it could have been the day of. My memory is still.
That's fine.
Here and there a little bit.
So it was either the day before or day of, approximately around that time frame. But correct me if I'm wrong, he was not actually physically present at the house. Okay.
No, he wasn't.
That was what I wanted to clarify.
Well, nobody else was here at this house except for us.
Okay. And since this happened, you had communicated to me that you had some concerns. Number one, you mentioned that you might have spoken with some people that actually, I guess while Neely was leaving the scene or fleeing the jurisdiction, she had made statements to some other people.
Yeah, we actually have the phone call log.
Okay.
And one of them is Jamie Grubbs. Her name is spelled Jaime.
Okay.
Grubbs, and she's a U.S. Marshal.
Do you have any contact information for Jamie Grubbs?
Yeah, I have given it to them the night of, so that you could contact, but I can give you, and her information has to be protected because she serves indictments on judges and things like that.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Now, does Jamie know that you've mentioned her name, or is that something that you feel comfortable with me approaching her with?
She's expecting someone's phone call.
Okay.
So she can give you all the evidence that she has about all of this. She's been collecting a lot of it. She's also given it to her boss at the U.S. Marshals.
Is she an agent with the U.S. Marshals, or what is her title?
Yes, she's a service processor.
Okay.
So, there's that piece. And they've already been informed how they can join into the jurisdiction aspect to do an investigation too on their part. Because of what was filed in the federal court, we already incited the U.S. Marshal for being involved.
Okay.
So just let you know that, but There's also Kathy Watson. She lives in Kentucky. She was part of Neely's fiasco when she got arrested with that situation with her kids.
Right.
Yeah. And just got recently indicted for it.
Do you know if Neely reached out to Kathy and gave a statement about what happened?
Oh yeah, she has recordings. She's distributed all kinds of stuff to all these people.
Regarding specifically the murder case?
Yeah, she's telling them to get her statement. So there's stuff out there that I don't know if you guys have gotten into yet.
Well, one of the things I have to caution people about, because sometimes the law is kind of murky when it comes to that.
Right.
Florida is what we call I think it's called a one-party consent.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So it means it's illegal for a citizen to secretly record a statement or secretly record another person. A lot of times we run into these in cases of like weird video voyeur cases where like a guy puts up a camera.
She was doing this, giving consent fully, and
Okay.
she wanted this information to get out
to
these people so that way they could kick up propaganda and present this stuff to intervene, and so that's why I'm saying there's a lot more out there that you guys probably don't realize.
So to your knowledge, the information that she provided Kathy Watson, she was aware that she was being recorded and she was okay with this?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that aspect.
And with Jamie and all these people, she wanted them to do this and have this evidence, basically, for her benefit. She thought in her mind what she was presenting, she was telling them that those documents proved that the deep state. And everybody that's seen those that got sent out that from her was like, what is she talking about?
Right.
This is nothing what she's stating,
You wouldn't happen to have Kathy Watson's contact information, would you?
Right.
All I know is that her name is Kathy Watson and she lives in Kentucky.
Oh, no, I've blocked her.
Okay.
Yeah, because she's calling me a Jezebel, and she's complete over the top for Neely.
Kathy Watson, is she white, black, or Hispanic?
She's white.
Okay. About how old is she?
I want to say easily 56, 57.
Do you know whereabouts where she lives in Kentucky?
I'm not offhand. I know she lives like on a lake. She takes care of her aunt. It should be in all the police report information.
Okay, so it'll be in her documents from Kentucky.
Yeah, from Kentucky, which she just got indicted for.
Gotcha.
So,
is there anybody else that would have gotten a statement directly from?
Ronald Paul Knowles, and that is the individual that's had a relationship with Neely that has been claiming that he's the father of her baby, that she's pregnant right now. He's been posting stuff on the internet, like Neely with a belly and stuff, and we've got screenshots of his communications of him claiming, he's trying to get her husband's medical records. He's trying to get her medical records through the jail. And it's like, that's why I'm like, what's going on here? And then we don't know the internal data information from her phone and all of that stuff. So we don't know if she was with him at this hotel, and all of this stuff. These are questions we have with the dynamics of what we have seen in these people, and I don't know if she contacted Kirk Pendergrass, but usually Neely and Kirk have a very odd, weird relationship, and I think it also added to it very badly, because Kirk was like a father figure, and his mom actually reached out, praised on the task of being in that position and helping Kirk. And it's just been a constant battle with Kirk. He's got issues himself that he hasn't dealt with, and he has a narcissistic type of personality, and he's used the platform to use it basically as a woman wagon festival or I don't know.
Okay.
And Neely was one of those people, and I actually have a report of when he was down in Florida with her and the stuff that was going on, and just, so I have a strong knowledge that Kirk has been talking in Neely's ear, and Neely was aware that I was able to listen to the Kirk's Law Corner show without him knowing. He had pushed me out of the platform, and so when she told Jamie that she had been recording us for the past 2 months, I really think that's where it came from, is because Kirk wanted to know what was being said about him and the things that were going on, and it just created this whole storm, you know. And they realized that Neely was unstable. I mean, her history from, umpteen, try to stay out of all that. He was just trying to do right by her original cases to get her kids back. And I fully believe with what had been done that she would have gotten her kids back. It would have proven completely, it would have wrapped the whole case up from the time he's been oversighting and dealing with this. And it's why it's so devastating, because it was just days away, and I don't know. I just think she didn't have the ability to deal with it. Some people don't, and they get to a point where they feel like they've got to create a crisis situation to get attention, to get what they want, and it was a big issue that we were trying to deal with and address, and that's why we had decided we weren't going to oversight any personal, individual cases anymore, because where we had established, we were just going to start knocking at the head points where we needed to get it applied, and because basically the project was over, and yeah. It's devastating. It really is.
So, all right. Well, I'm gonna follow up on this information from today, and try to reach out to these individuals and see if there's any other information that could be gathered as far as statements directly from Neely. I think that really concludes all of the line of questioning that I had still kind of toggled in my brain. And if I get back to my office after writing my reports and I run into some more stuff and I have some more questions, I can obviously reach out to you. So, all right, that concludes the interview as it pertains to the case, and it is 5:21 hours. I'm turning off this recorder.